2 in normal time. Liverpool 3-0. Call it to get quickly, Origi! Yeah! Yeah! Unbelievable! Divock Origi! Oh my word! Yes! This is extraordinary!
Hello and welcome to the Redscast podcast after Liverpool have secured Champions League last 16 qualification. I'm joined by the post-birthday boy, big 40 now.
Yeah, thanks for that.
How are we, Ste?
Yeah, good. All smiles.
All smiles.
All smiles. 'Cause not only have we qualified, but we've topped the group.
Yeah, I didn't think that would be possible, to be honest. When you think back to that Atalanta game, it was abysmal, weren't it?
Yeah. I mean, you come away from a game like Atalanta, and everything just seems so grim, doesn't it? And
yeah,
you're like, what are we gonna do? We were like thinking, are we gonna go out? And then like a week later, we've like topped the group.
Yeah, it's crazy, proper crazy. Let's start with the shock addition to the team. And I'm not even going to try and say his first name.
Yeah. The kid Kelleher.
Kelleher, yeah. I think isn't it Quiven?
I don't know.
Quiven.
I'm not even going to try.
I thought it was like Comain, but it's Quiven.
It's one of them mad Irish things.
Whether the commentators were just getting it wrong, calling him Quiven, like, I don't know. But
yeah, I wouldn't like to be called Quiven. His name wasn't Quiven, though. I think he'd have corrected them.
But I mean, as a whole, he was phenomenal. For what he had to do, he didn't have to do loads. Let's get it straight. He didn't have to do loads, but when he was called into action, he made big saves, and that's what good goalkeepers do, where he can be quiet all game.
He kept a clean sheet against Ajax in the Champions League. Like,
yeah.
What more can you ask for?
Nothing really.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely nothing.
We were a bit like taken aback by it when we were like speaking before the game. Like, that does not fill us with confidence. Although, if that team sheet would have said Adrian, I think you'd have probably text me exactly the same. That doesn't fill me with confidence. So
to be fair, it probably filled me with a bit. I don't know, because every time I've seen Kelleher play for Liverpool, it's been when we've played more than like with the kids, the whole team.
The cup games
and obviously you do perform a lot better when you've got better players around you. You perform so much better. But every time I've seen him, he's been bad. So I thought, when I seen it, I was like, but then I thought, it's not Adrian. Like, give the kid a chance. But what do you think Adrian was feeling, knowing now he's been dropped for a kid in a Champions League game when Alisson was injured?
I mean, obviously, like, that Kelleher has come out and said, he sent me a good luck message.
Yeah.
He's professionally and outwardly doing the right things and looking like, goalkeepers union and all that, he's backing his mate up. But I think if you look inside his mind, there's probably tears
there was that he was on the bench, weren't he, and it zoomed in on, and you could just see he looked fuming. He looked proper fuming.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a warning to him, isn't it?
Yeah. I think Adrian, we could go as far as saying, is done at Liverpool Football Club now.
I think he will play again. But Kelleher's still a kid. He's had one good game.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that puts him ahead of Adrian by any stretch. He's a kid and he's had one good game.
Yeah.
Any kid can come in and have one good game. If when Nico Williams first come in, he was a kid, he had one good game, you wouldn't say, Trent better watch himself. You know what I mean? You've got to give him more time.
Would you say, though, now that Kelleher is potentially the number 2?
If he carries on like that, he needs a couple more games like that. And then Adrian should really be worried. But I think after one game, it's too early to say.
I think he'll start Wolves, though, You can't drop the kid after a performance like that. Alisson, Klopp did say in a pre-match interview, will be ruled out.
Yeah.
You've got to start him.
I think
based on form, on last performances, Adrian, don't forget, conceded 7 against Aston Villa.
Yeah, it would be harsh to drop him.
Ridiculously harsh.
He did everything. I don't remember him making a mistake. And not that like he was given the opportunity to make mistakes, because they didn't put a whole lot of pressure on us, but the little bit of pressure that they put on him, put on us defensively, he dealt with it. He was coming out for crosses, he was making great point blank saves, and if it must have filled him with confidence. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that save for off air class Jan Hunter, that was in like the 92nd
it was,
minute.
yeah, and it was point blank, and I guess it was a reaction save, you know. So I don't think he knew a whole lot about it, but I'm guessing Adrian, that probably would have gone through Adrian, or if Adrian gets something on it, it comes out to one of their strikers or something. Going on past events from what Adrian's done.
Yeah.
It was the one for was it the derby, was Adrian in goal, where one went right through him, and
I'm not sure. I think, to be fair, every game Adrian's played this year,
he's not been great, has he?
it's been abysmal.
Yeah.
It's been... Like, considering last year, to be fair to him...
We were hailing him as the best second keeper. Like, the
Yeah,
best second keeper you can
like,
get, and he's just had a big fall off.
Last year, he was boss.
Yeah.
Well, not boss, but he was as good as a second keeper probably could be.
And I think
if that's fair.
He was an integral part of a lot of the stuff that we won.
Yeah, because, I mean, don't forget, last season he was out for 11 games. Alisson,
Yeah.
at the start, he went off injured in the Norwich game. And I remember the reception that Adrian got in that game. I was in the lower Annie, so you could see the cop. Like, the cop was obviously facing in front of me.
Yeah.
So you could see the reaction he got from the cop, and he got a proper stand.
Everyone was made up for him.
Yeah,
weren't
he
they?
got a standing ovation. He's never got a reaction like that in his career. No way. Liverpool fans are just different to any other club. So we had that bit of confidence, but then don't forget
He started well.
Yeah, he won us the Super Cup.
Yeah.
And then he's just showing why West Ham released him.
Is it going to be another like a Origi situation where thanks for the bits that you've done?
Oh, we spoke about him on the last pod. Let's not get into it. He didn't play.
He's on the intro. We've got to mention him every
I think
single
he'll
week.
always be on the intro. For what he's done, for that Barca corner taken quickly and him finishing it off, the finish then, world class. But Origi is like what we say Salah's like, you know, where he needs to not be thinking about it.
Yeah.
But Origi thinks about it too much.
Because he's too slow. Not too slow, but Salah plays at real high pace, so you can tell when he's thinking about it, where Origi is always at that sort of chilled, slow.
He just looks like he just can't be bothered all the time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Proper crazy. But if you look at the stats, Ajax dominated us on possession, which is mad, innit, for a team to come to Anfield and get 56% possession.
Yeah.
It's just unheard of.
They didn't, looking at the shots and stuff like that, they didn't do a lot with the possession, so
I mean, he still had 11 shots and 4 on target. We didn't do much better, 15 and 5. Our passing, again, 80%, there's 82. Clear-cut chances, we had 3, they had 2. I mean, them 2 clear-cut chances, if Adrian was in goal, they probably would have scored.
Yeah.
I think Keller really did win us
that one
game.
he tipped over the bar was...
Yeah.
I mean, it looked great, but you would expect the keeper to make that sort of save anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would, but I mean, for a kid, first game in the Champions League...
It must have brought him loads of confidence.
And let's not... That Ajax team isn't... I know they're young, but it's not like they're a poor team. That Anthony up front has been bagging them. We touched on him on the very first game, and he didn't... I think he was injured. Yeah. He didn't really do much in this game, but I know the Dutch league isn't much, but we're thinking about a team that's winning 5-0 and
Ajax are the champions
didn't
of their
win
country.
13-0? Yeah,
They're the champions of their country. Like, you can say what you want about any particular league, but if you're the champion of your country, you've got something about you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's only PSV and Ajax really, but what they're pumping out as a youth academy is unbelievable. And I've seen today, apparently, if Ajax don't reach the last 16, that pair of shares has got to deal with Liverpool for January. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He looks solid, him.
He looks like he's built a bit like De Ligt, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, but it's what I think's mad about Ajax is he's only just came through. I can't remember him playing last year with De Ligt.
No, I didn't pay that
and
much
he's the
attention,
captain.
So
I know he might have been there since he was a kid, but why is like Daily Blinder's dad's a legend? Why is he not the captain? Or Dusan Tadic? Like Tadic is boss for them. Hunter, I know he doesn't start all the time, but they've got some kid at the back, and it might just be their mould. Do you reckon that centre back's the captain?
It might be their sort of philosophy.
Yeah.
It might not be the most experienced player that's the captain. It might be, listen, this is the next kid who we're going to make some money off.
Yeah.
Did you see the interview with Van der Sar before the game? He's the
Yeah, no, he's like this. Didn't he say something like the academy allows them to survive?
Basically, yeah, he's like, we get some great players, and unfortunately, because of the league we're in, that's how we have to survive. To see the players go on and succeed at other clubs in other leagues and all that sort of gives them, that makes them proud and wants the other players to come through and emulate what they've done.
I mean, it's an amazing country, Holland. And Ajax is based in the best city in the world.
That is one place that you're going to have to take me whenever it opens up, because I've never been.
Even their stadium, it's incredible, to be honest. It's not massive, but it's boss to go there and see. One of my favourite Liverpool players when I was growing up was Yari Lippmann, and he started there, and obviously Suarez started there, and it's just good to see how much talent that they've actually produced, because it lines the walls of the stadium, and it's a really proper good stadium, to be honest. I'd love to go and watch them, because their fans are crazy as well.
Yeah, when they play Feyenoord, it goes off.
Do you have to have an escort, I think, from the underground to there?
I remember speaking to a Dutch guy on holiday years ago, and he was saying I can't remember which way round it was, whether it was the Feyenoord fans in Ajax Stadium or the Ajax fans in Feyenoord Stadium, but literally they were ripping the seats out and setting the place on fire, and everything. They were going off.
They're crazy. Yeah. One thing that we do want to touch on is I was bang on right. Curtis Jones. It wasn't a screamer, but it was probably one of the best finishes you could probably see.
It was a really tidy finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think if you like football, you'll understand how nice that finish was.
Yeah, it looks simple.
Yeah,
because it's just it looks like a tap-in, but it's not.
Well, even Owen said, didn't he, in BT, he was saying, like, he should have used his left foot.
The natural thing would have been to swing your left at it.
Yeah, and to just have that confidence and that aura about you, to know that you can just hit it in with the side of your boot.
Yeah.
I mean, the keeper was in no man's land, absolute no man's land.
Keeper was a fault for sure, but
100%. I mean, the keeper should have 100,000,000% should have saved that cross from Nico Williams.
Or stayed on his line.
Yeah, who did have a good game as well, by the way. But Curtis Jones, we've got a talent, a real talent, on our hands. So many people are talking about him. There was on the Wednesday I was watching the build-up show for the Champions League for I can't remember what game it was. And Owen Hargreaves was saying that, dare he say it, but he was saying that Curtis Jones has got the traits to be as good as Steven Gerrard, which is what I've touched on the podcast a few times. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be...
No, it's a bold statement to make,
because the area Gerrard played in, Gerrard was Liverpool. He played with awful... Imagine Steven Gerrard in this team. Do you know what I mean? But
you can imagine Curtis Jones playing with a lad's youth.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'd be the same player as he is now.
I mean, what you've got to think about is when Klopp does go in 3-4 years, 10 years we can hope, it's probably going to be Gerrard at some point in Curtis's Liverpool career.
And assuming Curtis is still at Liverpool.
I don't think he'd go. I think him and Trent are going to be similar to Gerrard and Carragher.
We're have a good local spine there, aren't we?
Yeah, he's a lad from Toxteth. He's a proper local lad, and I just think he'll stay. I don't think... Why would anyone leave Liverpool now? What club in world football is better than us? You look at Real Madrid. They're about to go into the Europa League.
That's madness.
And then Bar said they're doing all right in the Champions League, but they're doing awful in La Liga. Yeah. Atletico Madrid are killing La Liga and doing awful in the Champions League. So the Spanish teams don't worry me. Juventus, AC Milan are top of Serie A. Yeah. And they've got Zlatan up front, who's 37. Do you know what I mean? Zlatan,
he's still killing it, by the way, Zlatan.
He's absolutely killing it, but there's no team that fears me and in world football, so why would any player leave that? And I do feel as though we're only going to strengthen, whether that be with Haaland or Sancho or Mbappe in the summer.
The only way you see players leaving is if they're
Wakey genies and that.
You know, getting older, new challenge, or you're just not getting a game.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's weird with Genie, because he is getting a game, but I feel like he wants to go.
He wants to do something new, doesn't he?
He's won it all. He's really that bothered about the FA Cup and the League.
No. If you've won the league and the Champions League within 2 years, you're not asked about the League Cup, are you?
No, but with Curtis, I feel like in that game, the past few times, he hasn't set the world alight, it's fair to say, when he's played. He's been Curtis Jones, but he's not been as good as Curtis Jones can be. And I feel as though that was because we were playing him on the right side of midfield, where Curtis is naturally on the left side. So we played on the left side if I'm not mistaken, against Ajax, and you could instantly see the difference. Some of them bomb and runs he was doing forward, he was always in the right place at the right time. I'm absolutely devastated for him that finished and that pinged off the post going, because that was such a tardy finish. As soon as he hit the post,
I was like that, looking for me phone, see what Matty looks.
But it was such a tardy shot, and to have him, if he can shoot from long range, and have Trent, our free kicks are sorted for the next 10 years, aren't they? Like, that's one thing we do miss in games like that. We had 2 really nice positions for free kicks against Ajax, and they were half wasted because nobody can get the whip on it to get it up and over the wall like Trent.
It's massively technique, isn't it?
Yeah. As good as James Milner is, I mean, I know he didn't play, as good as Hendo is at passing the ball, they just seem to can't do it for free kicks.
They're better with a moving ball. Free kicks 100%. Is a whole different ball game. Like,
Henderson is probably, do you know what people say about Bobby being the most important player in the team? Given this season, I feel like we've seen it more, just how much Jordan Henderson is vital to that Liverpool team.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy. Like, when you think back to teams of, I'm not comparing them to Gerrard. It feels like that's all I'm doing on people's shows.
But because we've had Gerrard.
But when you think about Gerrard, the teams, when you took Gerrard out of our team, we just didn't perform. And you take Henderson out of our team, and we genuinely don't perform. You see, like against Ajax, even though it was only 1-0 up, not once in that game did I think, I'm worried here. No. Because when Hendo's on the pitch, you know he's controlling it. He's controlling every single player, and then he's got Klopp controlling
vocal, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's one good thing I'd say that's come out of lockdown, is being able to listen to the players for just a few months on the telly and that. And because obviously when you're in the match, you even though you're in the same ultimate position, like area as them, you don't hear them shouting, do you? Because you just hear the crowd. Or you hear all the alkies and that.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on... This is mad on this. What are your thoughts on commentators apologising for players swearing? I've seen that... who's it, Kevin Peterson, the cricketer, put something on Twitter. He's like, do you think commentators should really have to apologise for players' language during a game?
Putting me degree head on in terms of the media, yeah, to an extent, because there's the 9 p.m. watershed. So if they're swearing before that, then they should be apologising ultimately, probably. So it's covering their own backs in terms of like the because Ofcom could get complaints, and if they've been seen to apologise, they've instantly addressed the issue. But then, if you're prepared to watch a football game, a man's football game, you know there's going to be swearing.
You go to the match, you hear a hell of a lot more, and maybe just put a little disclaimer out before the game.
Well, it's live.
Listen, you may hear language. Apologies in advance. You don't have to say, "Oh, sorry for any bad language." Sorry for any bad language, because the players are going to swear.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's half the broadcasters' fault for having all the mics.
But as I say, all you need to do is put a little disclaimer out before the game. You may hear.
I haven't heard that much. Hendo's quite bad. You hear Hendo quite a lot, but
Trent as well. Trent, I think, is probably the worst.
Yeah, he's a Scouser, aren't you?
And Robbo.
Yeah, proper Scottish and Scousers and that. But one thing I want to touch on is, cast your mind back to last week, Des Kelly interview with Klopp, and he's saying that the broadcasters have a commitment to put the games on because the 12:30 slot's viewable in the most countries in at that time. It's more obtainable to view it in like America, Asia. It's for that market. That's the 12:30 kickoff. So the Premier League said they've got an obligation to put the biggest teams on.
The most in-demand game.
Obviously for the worldwide audience. Have you seen who's on a 12:30 kickoff this Saturday?
No.
Burnley at home to Everton. And this is something I want to touch on. This week, Amazon's got the whole Premier League this week. Do you know where they have... Whereas every now and then Amazon pop up and take over for a week.
Yeah.
Amazon's got it again this weekend. And I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. I do like Amazon's coverage of it. And Simon Thomas is presenting the Liverpool Wolves game. It's fantastic to see him back in the game.
That is one good thing. They produce the programme well, don't they?
Yeah,
they get good people talking about it. They haven't got Steve McManaman.
Amazon have had control of who goes where this weekend. Mm-hmm. And they haven't put one single team in Europe on that 12:30 kickoff on Saturday.
Bertie party, my Bertie party that no one's coming to because we're not allowed to make house but
but it's, I mean, like, I know they've moved Liverpool's to Sunday, but it shows
it's more sensible thing,
it shows with BT and Sky when you think about it, because they were saying they've got to put the biggest teams on, but why can Amazon get away with putting? I know Jeff Bezos is minted, but why can they get away with putting Burnley, Everton on the 12:30, but BT and Sky are saying, "Oh no, we've got to put Liverpool on, or we've got to put United on."
They haven't got to; they want to because they know it'll get the highest viewing figures.
Yeah, and that shows that Jurgen's argument is right to go to the broadcasters. Yeah. It's like the Premier League, like we said last week, allocate fixtures, and on that game week, like this game week, Liverpool must play Wolves. It doesn't say where. We must play Wolves this game week. And there's the broadcasters.
These are all the slots for the games that are available.
So Amazon have just basically shown that they can do it.
Yeah.
You can put teams that aren't in Europe. And I'm not just saying it for Liverpool's sake. I mean for Cities and Chelsea's and United's and
all the teams in
and
Europe.
Tottenham and Arsenal. And obviously them, I'd love Tottenham and Arsenal to play close together, and Chelsea and United and City for our benefit. But if you're being fair about it,
you can't complain. For us, if then you're going to wish it on other teams.
But we've got, again, in a few weeks, we've got Tottenham on the Wednesday night in the Premier League, 8 o'clock, and then Palace on the Saturday, 12:30. Yeah. And that, again, is Sky.
Yeah.
But then when it's Amazon, it's fine.
They just don't care. And you could have all 20 Premier League managers coming out and having a moan about it. Yeah. And they wouldn't do nothing. They don't care.
Fake, had a moan years ago.
Yeah, they don't care. Like,
it's ridiculous, and I do feel as though many fans are more in favour of Amazon covering games, which is crazy, over Sky.
And they can absolutely afford to just take the lot.
But they have everyone on, don't they? I think they have Crouch
for the whole season. Like, they could just say, right, we will outbid Sky, we'll outbid BT, we'll outbid...
I think the next round of bidding, I do think you might see Amazon come in with a bid to get more games, because I don't know when the next bidding is. I know the BT, you've got the European competitions for the next, I think it's 10 years. But I do feel Sky should be worried, because Amazon's coverage of the games, they had the derby last year, and it was when I just moved into my new house, and I didn't even have Sky or that set up yet, but I had Amazon, so I remember being made up, and when I got it on, it was the derby away, I think. It was the away derby, and you can mute the commentary if you don't like the commentators. You can mute the crowd noise and just listen to. There's so much stuff you can do with Amazon's platform. And then one of my favourite presenters, Simon Thomas, does it as well, which is, it's always good to see him. He's the one, he lost his wife and had loads of bad stuff happen to him last year. He used to be on Sky, I think. He's probably one of the best sports presenters out there. And Amazon give him a shot, and Amazon have Peter Jory on the commentary, which is always a million times better.
Just that voice, his voice, just
evokes
memories, doesn't it?
Just hearing commentary that's not bitter as well, and it's mad to say that, considering Steve McManaman's commentary for BT Sport, but I feel as though he's just trying everything he can to look as though he's against Liverpool.
He says stuff to be controversial, I think. There's times in the past I've heard him talking about, when I was watching Man United's Youth Academy, I'm like, what the hell are you watching Man United's Youth Academy for?
I'm sure you're for trials there.
Yeah, maybe 40 years ago, 30 years ago or whatever, but...
He's just a clown. Yeah. He's an absolute clown. And you know what? Michael Owen, I actually prefer him.
Yeah,
and people will say, "Whoa!" But I changed my opinion on Owen when he done Carragher's podcast. He done Carragher's podcast on the first season.
Or maybe I must have listened to it.
I think it was Carragher's podcast he done, and it was. I'm sure it was, and he spoke about the situation with Liverpool, and he tried to come back after Newcastle, and Rafa didn't want him.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Fowler came back, didn't he?
Yeah. So obviously, I know he went to United. It's terrible. He went to United, but if you're a footballer, if that's your only chance at winning the Premier League, he's from Chester. He's not a Scouser. If he was a Scouser, it'd be different, I think. But that's what you've got to sometimes consider. That he's come through the academy. He's not.
You've got to take your. It's hard to do because I'm so guilty of it. But sometimes you've got to take them rose tinted glasses off, and look at it as a.
I'd never
look at him as a human being going for a job.
Yeah, I'd never go and play for United, but.
Do you know what?
Mickey Owen wanted to then. We can't doubt. He won a Ballon d'Or with us. We can't hate him. One of the only players to do it, isn't he?
I know.
Or the only. Is he the only? He's the only Liverpool player to have done it, isn't he?
I don't know. Was it Kevin Keegan, maybe?
I don't know. I'm sure. Owen was the youngest, or one of the youngest. Definitely.
You'd be able to get the list off him,
have a look.
Ballon d'Or winners.
Liverpool players to win the Ballon d'Or. Liverpool players who've won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
We should know this. Do you know what's mad though? Gerrard never won it, did he? He got nominated.
Yeah.
only Michael Owen, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was right. But, I mean, obviously we've had Van Dijk, Firmino, Alisson, Trent, Sadio Mane, Gerrard. I think Carragher probably might even got nominated one year, potentially. I'm not sure, I could be wrong. But yeah, building up to the game on Sunday then. How are you feeling?
Do you know what, right? I was thinking about this morning. I took the dog for a little walk and I was having a little think to myself. I'm feeling boss, you know. Like, I've said it before, the amount of, like, players we've had missing.
Yeah.
And the injuries and COVID and all that nonsense that's going on. And Robertson nearly went off, didn't he, with an injury?
Just strapped it up with like ice tape.
That would have left us without our keeper and our back four. Right? We're top of the league. We're top of the Champions League group. We've qualified top.
Crazy.
Like,
but we're in crisis.
And I just feel bossed that, like, we're going to get players coming back. Obviously, Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Who knows? Gomez. Who knows?
Trent's back this weekend.
But yeah, Trent's coming back. Probably Naby Keita will come back for a week or two before he gets injured again. But people are coming back, and Henderson's just come back, and we're only going to get stronger.
Yeah.
The fans are coming back for what it's worth.
That's
like a few of them.
Touching on. I mean, I am more excited after seeing the Arsenal game for fans than I was, because I imagined them, they were just going to have fans because they were using the cop and the main stand. Now the main stand is massive in it. Like, you don't realise the structure of the main stand until you get one of them £9 seats.
I've had a couple of them.
And then you're up there and you're like, this is big.
Yeah.
Right, so when I seen that they were using the cop and the main stand, I thought they're going to just have them all spread out everywhere. There's going to be no noise. It's going to be crap.
Yeah.
The Arsenal game yesterday, you can actually... So you can have, you've got to leave a seat between everyone. So you can have person, empty.
Right,
then you leave a row.
Yeah.
And then you can have them. You can have them directly behind.
Okay.
As long as they leave a row. So you can have a person, row.
Yeah.
So they were all in like rows.
So they were all together. Then you can create a little bit of
so
noise in one area.
And when Arsenal scored, because I turned it on, I didn't watch any of the footy last night, but I turned Arsenal on for half an hour just to listen to the like to see what the fans were like as a judgment to ours, because I thought we'll be a bit noisier than them because we've got better fans anyway and our stadium is more compact, blah blah blah, and it was decent, you know. Like, it says they can't sing or that they got to wear face masks, but that's where it's going to get funny, because how are the stewards going to know who's singing if there's a mask on your face? So
just sit there like that.
So if you are one of the lucky 2,000, get your singing voice on. But even like when Lacazette scored that absolute screamer, by the way, yesterday.
4-0 they won.
3 or 4-0, Aubameyang got shocking.
Was he?
Yeah. It just doesn't look like he wants to be there. But when he scored, do you know, just hearing us cheering, and it wasn't artificial.
Yeah.
I got a bit it wasn't my team, and I got a bit of goosebumps. I was like, oh my God, the fans are back.
It's coming. It's coming.
I mean, I can't wait to get back in there. Wasn't lucky enough with the 2,000 this time.
Yeah,
sadly.
like, my mate who I was out with on Wednesday, his dad is steward. And he's going to be there. So he's in about
some of the stewards have seen it. I've been there anyway, haven't they, for like getting the balls and that.
Yeah, he's going to be in like the 15th tier or so of the main stand. So he's up in the gods, like. But
who cares?
I know.
I'd take anything now.
I'd sit on the roof, mate.
It probably looks as though we'll probably all be back in the ground by
March.
I mean, well, Boris, the clown, come out and said that it make plans for summer because he
once this vaccine's rolled out and the majority of the people have got it, I think things are going to start getting back to some kind of normal.
I think they said it,
because otherwise, like, what a waste of time and money bringing the vaccine out if it's not going to change.
I mean, it's going to be one thing. I know we're going to have to get it given our actual jobs, but I'm annoyed that it's basically mandatory. Although it's not mandatory, it's going to be, you can't go to match, you can't go to pub, you can't go to bar, you can't travel across the world, you can't do anything.
They're not saying it's a legal requirement, but they're saying if you haven't got it,
you can't do this.
You can't go to work.
They're going to take away basically your
choice.
Your life, and it's
and
scary
there's a lot of
that
people,
they can do that.
people we know that are refusing to get it, and
well, the person who I think you're on about has actually come round because he's watched videos and seen that if he wants to go on holiday, if he wants to do anything with his kids. He's going to have the vaccine, and it's crap to be in that
He's not the
position.
only one. There'll be thousands, hundreds of thousands probably in the same
Well, you think
mindset.
about how many people in this country have family abroad, like yourself, and you'd be put in a position of being like, well, if you want to go and see your parents, you've got to have the vaccine because you aren't going to Spain without this vaccine.
And I'm not getting to that Bundesliga game. I'm not going to my uncle's and getting to that Hoffenheim game.
It's crazy that they can do that, but if it means fans get back into the games, then so be it.
Yeah.
But how can 1,000 people be in the Wembley Arena for the Anthony Joshua fight, but only which holds what?
90,000?
Seats? No, not stadium, the arena.
Oh, the arena.
So I
it's
think
20,000 or
seats,
something, isn't it?
if that, but then you can only have 2,000 in a 58,000 seater stadium. And then you could argue like Tottenham, I think there's like 65,000. Why are they only? I
don't think it's to do with the capacity of the arena or stadium, is it?
No, it's just
so it's
2,000.
not like a percentage, it's just 2,000.
But it just
across the
shows
board,
that they don't have a clue, the ones in charge, because you can put more than 2,000 people in Anfield safely.
You could. I mean, the logistics of getting everyone in and out.
Yeah, but then they could say, you could get like as you go through the turnstiles, you could get like a little leaflet saying, right, if you're in the
this section goes.
if you're
then.
in the cop, your seat has to leave at this time after kick-off. And if they do it,
It'd stop these idiots leaving on 85 minutes to beat the traffic, I guess.
yeah, well, there shouldn't be no traffic. They shouldn't have anyone leaving.
Yeah.
Anyone who leaves before 90 minutes now, after not being able to go to a game for nearly a year, you just leg it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people go to beat the traffic, but I hate it when people get off. Because you know what? One game, remember the Arsenal game was it the League Cup last year? Yeah, it was the League Cup last year. And
Not the 5-5 one.
yeah, and loads of people got off, and then it ended up going to pens.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I was just sat there
Look what
thinking,
you've missed.
you idiot. I was made up because my cousin was at the top of the cop and I was at the bottom of the cop. So because everyone got off, we ended up being able to watch the pens together at the bottom of the cop. So I didn't have to stand there on my own. Because obviously with pens, you don't really got to be stood like your own.
No, you're like hugging strangers. All
I mean, I am used to going to a match on my own. It's just a bloody regular occurrence. But yeah, anyway, fans are back in. It looks like Trent's back. It looks like...
Trent's going to be back. I thought he was...
Apparently he's in like training.
I don't reckon he'll be in the squad.
No, I'm sure I seen that he could make the Wolves game, you know. I'm sure of it. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing we've seen. Look at Alisson, he would turn back after.
Yeah, but look, he's injured again.
Alisson's made a biscuit.
It's...
For goal, in terms of goalkeepers, Alisson Becker is injury.
See, this is why I was a bit worried about bringing him back. How quick he come back from that last injury.
We need them.
I know, but look what's happened. Wouldn't you rather have stayed out for him?
Yeah, but Copsy's only out for this game. He should be back. He won't play in the Midtjylland game. We won't play any first team players in that Midtjylland game. And then it's who's it next weekend?
Is it Tottenham?
I don't think
Tottenham's
on a Wednesday.
It,
My mind just went blank. Fulham.
Right, yeah.
So you could go as far as saying you wouldn't be that worried if Alisson didn't start against Fulham as well.
They're looking pretty.
They've done Leicester, but they're not.
In general, they're not.
Yeah, they're out the relegation zone, like, aren't they? I think they'll aim for the Tottenham game to have Alisson back, the 16th.
Yeah, you would hope so.
I think the Fulham game on the 13th, that's been changed, that was sad, that was on my bed. That's been changed to Sunday.
That's the one we were just talking about before, wasn't it? We were playing the Wednesday night. Oh, the Midtjylland game's an early one, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we have to have one. You have to have one, don't you? Out your group things. But that Fulham game's been changed to Sunday. But yeah, so I think Alisson would aim to be back for the Tottenham game. Klopp said he's definitely not back for the Wolves game. He's 100% not going to play in the Midtjylland game. Anyway, no. Maybe Fulham if he's fit, but if you're going to rush him back, I wouldn't rush him back.
Especially if Kelleher carries on with this performance that he put in.
It's pointless to rush Alisson back for Fulham.
Yeah.
We're quite... The only game we've got in December where you really, really, really want Alisson Becker is Tottenham.
Absolutely.
And Wolves, but...
yeah, Wolves ain't happening, so that's it.
Because out of the others, Palace, West Brom. I mean, I think Palace have got Sahara out, haven't they?
Yeah, well, he is out. I don't know whether he'll still be out at that point, because that Hodgson was talking about the team need to learn to win without him. And I don't really care about Crystal Palace, to be honest with you. Or Roy Hodgson, if I'm honest.
Yeah, he makes some bad signings, doesn't he? Bad, like getting Klein. He's finished.
Just leave that. Got no
Finished.
time for the guy.
But how are you feeling in terms of looking into the Wolves game? Are you worried?
No. I think historically we've done quite well against Wolves. Did they knock us out the FA Cup last year?
I feel like they might have, yeah.
I think in the league we do quite well against them. I think we won the last 2 or 3 games in the league against them.
I think so, yeah.
So I'm not worried about Wolves.
Jota returning.
Yeah.
Point to prove.
Oh Christ! Did you see that injury to Jimenez?
Yeah.
I've
seen it live. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Like, you see the corner come in and you see David Luiz fly across, and then you just you actually hear it, and
You hear the skull break, don't you?
Yeah, fractured his skull. He could maybe never play again.
That'd be a Petr Cech situation. Come on with the stupid that, but
No, but I don't know if they can outfield. I know Rooney did when he done it and had a head injury, but because that's what Cech done, when he Cech fractured his skull.
yeah.
He
got a knee in the head, didn't he?
But then, I don't know. I suppose the goalkeepers are more at risk of getting their head damaged again. If Cech can play, why can't Jimenez play?
It depends on the damage that's done. You
Well,
don't know. It
lasting
could have gone
damage,
beyond just a fracture.
Could have bleed on the brain or
Could
anything.
have,
couldn't he?
anything. So I mean, like, thoughts are with it, Mike, because that's a bit of a heavy one, like,
injury.
isn't it?
I mean, Wolves this year haven't been. Well, you could say they haven't been that. They haven't been Wolves, but when you look at the last games, they won Fulham, they've won Leeds, they drew with Newcastle, they won Palace, they got
Top
beat.
6. Top 6.
Currently,
I think we're getting used
Seventh.
to We're getting used to Wolves being a decent team.
they've only
now,
won
aren't we?
2 out of the last 6 games, though, drawing 2 and losing 1. Or last 5 games, sorry.
But they're a solid 7th in the league, like, you can't argue
Well, they're
with
coming into it in half decent form since the Leicester defeat. They drew with Southampton, which isn't an easy game anymore.
no.
And then they've beat Arsenal, which
that. I mean, to be honest with you, Arsenal can go either way, can't they?
I
Depends
think
which
their fans are mad. Like, the other month when they beat us in the Community Shield, he was the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable. Arsenal was up, on the up. And they had Aubameyang sign a new contract, and they're 14th.
They lose one game and he doesn't know what.
Yeah, they're 14th in the league. That's shocking. Look at their form. In the last 5 games, they've won 1. They've drew 1 and lost 3. They've only won 4 games out of 10 all season. They've only scored 10 goals in 10 games.
If you're an Arsenal fan, that is just not good enough, is it?
No, terrible. Proper terrible. When you think about it, like, look who's above them. Newcastle, Leeds, Villa, Everton, Wolves, Southampton, West Ham. Mad. I mean, Leicester will fall off like they always do. They got beat again in the Europa League yesterday. But going into the game anyway, Wolves are in good form. I watched that Arsenal game and I feel like he might use a similar team to the similar setup than what he approached the Arsenal game, because he started.
Did he go with 3 at the back?
Yeah, and he starts with a Dharma, which he never usually does. And it just had loads of pace. I mean, obviously Jimenez will be out, but they had like they had Adama on, they had Podence on, they had Neto on.
Was that Semedo getting a game?
Semedo, he starts. So they had Semedo, and then up front of Semedo, they had Adama. Now Semedo's rapid and Adama's rapid. So
Robertson's gonna be Robertson's gonna have to do something before this game. 6 cans of Red Bull or something.
I feel like Trent is probably a vital key to winning this game if he's ready. Only because with Wolves, I feel like this game will be won by a Trent cross.
I think if Trent doesn't play, you will see Adama play on the left against Nico. I think they'll
100%.
I think they'll absolutely target. Although, what if they got that Podence? He's a left winger, so
but
he's dangerous.
They'd rather keep Podence than Jota, weren't they? So I feel Jota's got a point to prove, because they put their eggs in Podence's basket ultimately. But one thing with Nico, I will say, is when he plays a good game, he usually has a run of good games.
Yeah,
and he was decent in the Champions League. He's had a run of poor games. Klopp even said he had a long talk midweek, and he still threw him in. He brought him off at half-time, obviously, in the Brighton game. So you're thinking, is he going to start?
Just hopefully it kicks on, a run of form for him.
I mean, obviously he's going to be coming off the team again in a few weeks, or maybe Sunday for Trent. But to be back up to Trent, you're learning from the best, aren't you? And it's not like he's that much older than you, so Trent can say something like, well, the advice he's given him, Trent's experienced, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
So...
And Trent was by no means perfect when he come through.
No, he had a few bad games,
Yeah,
Trent.
I mean, brilliant, but not perfect. Like,
I remember Rio Ferdinand saying like he just weren't ready once, and he got made to eat his words. That's always good.
yeah, I mean, Rio Ferdinand says a lot of nonsense.
No, but to be fair to Ferdinand, he adores Trent now.
Yeah.
I think Rio Ferdinand's a closet Liverpool fan, to be honest. I don't want him to be, but when you listen to him, he loves so many Liverpool players. He's a good pundit, really.
He is.
Like he talks about Bobby, how Bobby should be spoke about, like unbelievable. And
He's not a Man United fan.
he's a Leeds fan, isn't he? Or West Ham.
He doesn't act like you see Roy Keane acting and Gary.
He's
Neville
not a man,
acting
is he? He's where's he? He's West
London.
Ham.
Yeah, he's West Ham.
So
He's quite level-headed and he's fair, and I do. He says a lot of nonsense sometimes, like talking about giving our like contract forever and all that sort of stuff. But I think he just gets a bit. Yeah, exactly. I think he just gets a little bit carried away. But I think on the whole, he does talk some sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think, to be fair, BT's punditry, I prefer. It's mad because Sky is so Liverpool heavy, but with BT, I like listening to Crouch and that.
Yeah.
I feel like Sky missed a trick not getting Crouch on there.
Definitely.
There, like,
yeah, he's a good personality, isn't he?
It's the best show on Sky is Monday Night Football, and that's statistically as well. But Carragher and Neville are fantastic pundits.
Yeah.
They're so good at analysing the game, and it's good to hear Neville from an owner's point of view as well.
Yeah.
Although I don't agree with why, even in his league, he rejected 5 subs. Like it's.
But it's good to see that side of him, isn't it?
Yeah. Did we make 5 subs? We didn't make 5 subs, did we, on the Champions League game?
I think we made 4.
We didn't make 1.5 time, which we usually do.
Pretty sure we've made 4 with a few minutes left. You get the team up, it'll show you.
I think we did make 4.
Because I don't know whether we made like a last minute time wasting one.
Yeah, we did.
Minamino on or something at the end.
Usually Minamino's their time waster one, innit? Would you go as far as saying his career's finished at the Reds now?
No. I think he's he is struggling.
Struggling to fit in, isn't he?
Yeah. But I think that's because of how well we're doing. He has still. I would still.
No, we only made 2 subs all game.
Oh, okay.
We brought Firmino on for Jota and Reece Williams on for Salah.
That's unusual, that, don't it?
It is unusual. Considering we had Wolves on the weekend, like I didn't know, man. I forgot when he had 90 minutes, to be honest.
So, what were we saying then?
I don't even. I'm just shocked that we only made 2 subs.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. Oh yeah, with the going into the Wolves game, with only making the 2 subs, it's crazy. What do you reckon on our team for the Wolves game? Do you reckon it'll be pretty similar to that Ajax game?
Will have to be, I would say. Maybe I'm thinking. I would say Kelleher will probably play. I would suggest Nico because I don't know whether Trent will be ready.
How far's Milner off? Was this a few weeks?
It was a couple of weeks.
Because was it hamstring? Yes,
yeah,
but what's that? A
2-3
month?
weeks. So depending on the.
There's a month, I'd say.
yeah. He's older than me, that guy.
He's not, Steve. You're not getting out of that.
So, I'll go Nico, Matip. I'm torn here between putting Fabinho in midfield and bringing Phillips in.
That's a good shout, though.
I would probably say Matip and Phillips and Robertson. Then I would put Fabinho, Henderson and Wijnaldum in the midfield. Then, I don't know.
I don't think we're going to go 4-3-3.
That leaves one of the front 4 out, doesn't it?
I don't think we'll go 4-3-3. I feel like it's a good shout with that Phillips, but I don't feel Wolves have got no height, have they? They've only got Saiss and Cody, really, if I'm not wrong.
They're more of a technical team, aren't they?
Small, Neto's small, Podence is small. Trying to think what else they've got.
Yeah, Adama's
small but wide.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're only a small team, so there's not. there's not really the need for Nat Phillips.
Do you think Phillips will play against Smith? Oh no, he can't. He can't play against Midtjylland though, can he? So
No,
that's why I'm thinking he might bring him in to give the others a rest.
But it'd make more sense to put Fabinho as a holding midfielder if Wolves were going like they played against Arsenal with the pace and the attack and that. But I just feel like he might go to 4-2-3-1 again this game with having, and he'll have Kelleher.
If he does that, I would say probably Henderson, Fabinho, and then the front four.
If he plays Phillips as well,
Yeah.
But I don't think he'd drop Gini. I think it'll probably be Kelleher, Nico, Massip, Fabinho, Robertson, Gini, and Hendo, and then the four.
Curtis Jones going to drop onto the bench by the looks.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth putting Jones as a holding midfielder when he's
not.
He's so technically advanced.
There's no need for him.
Yeah, it's better to leave Jones on the bench and bring him on for one of the front four in like the 80th minute, so he's got 10 minutes as attacking rather than trying to hold it for that long. And having Hendo in front of that defence as well, it adds that layer of security if they was to go with like putting Adama and Semedo starting. But then with Adama starting against Arsenal, he may not start.
Yeah, they may look to bring him on for an impact.
Obviously, one benefit, though it's not a nice benefit, is that Jimenez isn't there. He's a massive danger for them.
He's a good player. Like he's dangerous, and I would rather not play against him. But you know they've got a decent team there. They
have. I mean, it's basically the Portugal team without John Ruddy. Did you know he was there?
No way.
No. They've got a few, like even that Marcal. I don't know if he's fit. He's a defender. He's decent. They got however mad one. Still hasn't played. I think he's come on, but I don't think he's started in the Prem, which is mad because imagine how he feels. Wolves had just bought him, and then they go and buy Nelson Semedo, who was starting for Barcelona. He is not going to play ahead of Nelson Semedo. No chance.
Are they in Europe, Wolves?
No, not this year.
No.
But which is even mad that Semedo left Barcelona to go to them. But I feel like who plays there sometimes for Barca? Alba's on the left. Who plays on that? Sergio Roberto, doesn't he? I feel like he might have been getting played more maybe than him. But like Willy Bowley's quite tall actually.
I mean that's only for set pieces that we're worried about. I think from just normal play.
That's still the maddest sign. I know Nelson Semedo's a Wolves, you know. It's so mad. I'd love Conor Cody back at the Reds as well to cut for cover.
Yeah, definitely.
Neves hasn't been this guy. Den Donker, he's worth keeping an eye on. He was decent against Arsenal. Okay. Pedro, they'll probably start with
Pedro Neto, Daniel Podence, and Adama Traore, won't he?
Nah, I reckon when Jimenez went off against Arsenal, they brought Fabio Silva.
Did they?
Yeah, so
he's still only young. I thought.
Well, if you're paying for the way Sky worded it was, given his contacts in Portugal, Nuno Espirito Santo, if they're paying £35 million for a child, basically he's 17, he's going to be world class.
Yeah,
they're going to make money on him, 100%. Because why, given his contacts, why would he go and spend that much money and then not be good?
Yeah. Wolves aren't really a team you see spending 30 million quid every week. Every week.
They've went big this summer, haven't they? But I feel like it'll probably be Neto, Podence, and Fabio Silva. And the fact they've got Adama listed as a striker on their website is mad, considering he's a right wing back.
Yeah.
He's not a striker. I mean, but judging on FIFA, he can't finish. He can run, he just can't finish. Yeah. But yeah.
I told my FIFA I got Fabinho in my ultimate team. Absolute game changer, by the way.
I haven't played it for like 3 weeks.
I put it on today. They've done an update, and every time they do an update, the game just goes to shit. And it's all right this time. It did seem a bit weird, but I put Fabinho in, and he just.
Last time I was on it, I was decent on it this year. So if you changed it, bet you haven't crap again.
Get on.
I haven't been on it for ages, but I want to do a career mode because I want to buy Haaland and Sancho for the Reds and just see what happens.
You'll have to get that little takeover thing on it.
Yeah, 500 mil.
Yeah.
Sort me out. But that's all I'd buy. I wouldn't go and buy anyone, man, because there's no one else to buy. I may buy Upamecano as a cover or Cody or something to have him as cover. That'd be boss, wouldn't it? We can speak about this because obviously we're going into the Wolves game. I don't think he'd come back because he's captain of Wolves. But how good would it be to have Conor Cody come back as the cover? So, like, we need to go and buy a centre-half in January. How good would it be to have Conor Cody? Because he's going to play every game until the end of the season. Imagine it'd be boss for him, because if we was to win the league or Champions League or something, he's done it then with Liverpool.
And it's another local lad.
Yeah, I'd love him. I honestly would love him. I think Wolves would want a very high fee for him. Club captain, English international.
Yeah. Any player, any defender that we try and buy now is going to be at a premium. We're going to get our pants pulled down, no matter who it is.
Yeah, because they know we're desperate.
Yeah, they know we're desperate. So, again, you say, he's club captain, England international. He's going to be top dollar. And you've got to look at what else is out there for that sort of price. If they're asking like 40, 50 million or whatever for him, go in Europe. Go to Europe.
I think that's why they might look to that pair of shorts from Ajax.
Yeah.
Might make sense. But yeah, while we're on the subject of team news, I seen a sneaky little tweet saying that Thiago Alcantara won't play again this year.
This year is in 2020.
Not this season. No, not this season. He'll be back after Christmas. It was good to see him in a Liverpool shirt that once, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's depressing.
Massively depressing, innit? Like, we knew he had injury problems, and I remember saying it.
That's not down to that. This injury is not down to him being injury prone. That's down to Richarlison being a horrible little.
But we knew he recovers slow from them. We said this before we bought him. He recovers slow from injuries, and it was a risk to get him based on that. But when he does play, it just makes it worthwhile.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
And that first game back, I think.
Well, they said on after the game against Ajax, he was saying, like, look what players are out for Liverpool, and look who might come back in the business end of the season. Van Dijk apparently is healing like no other. He was in light training the other week. Light training.
His leg was hanging off a few weeks ago.
You know what I mean? Then Gomez, we don't know if he'll even play footy again. No. When we've looked into the severe, it hasn't come out properly, but when a few people have spoke about how severe it can be, because it's the tendon that connects basically your leg.
Yeah.
So if that does, and then they have to, when they sew it back together, they've got to wait for it to heal, and if it's healed too loose, they've got to operate again. If it's healed too tight, they've got to operate again, and they're only going to do it like 4 or 5 times before they say
you finished.
Yeah.
And I feel for him, because hasn't he broke his leg twice or something?
Yeah, he's had bad.
Am I remembering that right? So
bad. And the thing is, he might never come back, like as Joe Gomez again. He might lose his pace. Van Dijk could lose his pace with his ACL. And you just cast your mind back to like Torres. I think his was his ACL. That done him.
Makes it been Owen.
But Torres rushed back for the World Cup. It was his knee, actually. It was his knee, and then he rushed back for the World Cup, didn't he? And it was selfish.
It was never the same.
Yeah, and he says now he wishes he didn't.
I think in that position we'd have all done the same. I don't blame him.
But he didn't have to play.
Yeah, but you put yourself in his shoes.
Pepe Reina's got a World Cup medal. He didn't play. Could have just been on the bench.
I know, but
they would have won it still. They had that team that won the World Cup. They had David Villa, Iniesta, Puyol, Busquets, Xavi.
You're like, no, I get it. They would have won it anyway. But from a selfish, personal point of view, if you're Fernando Torres, one of the best strikers in the world at that time.
But he's ultimately ruled himself out of playing any future World Cups, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's hindsight, a fine thing. But
yeah, Aspas plays for them now instead.
No comment.
But yeah, like when you look who's coming back in, so Van Dijk could come back, Diox is still to come back, Kite is still to come back, Alisson's still to come back. But you look at like all the players who are out injured, and if they come back towards the business end of the season, we could be going into like Champions League finals with our full strength team. We're going to be fit as anything because they haven't played all year, and it could be amazing. That's why I'd like to see Conor Cody come back.
Yeah.
Because it'd be nice to see. You could see how much it'd mean to his family if he wants anything with Liverpool.
Is he from Liverpool? Or is he like
Kirby?
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah, that's not the same, Steve. Don't say that. But no,
what I mean is he's not from like Chester or Ormskirk.
No, in fact, I think he might be St. Helens. You know,
is he?
He's not. I don't. He's not a Scouser. An actual Scouser.
So he's from the northwest.
But yeah, he's from St. Helens, yeah. So he's...
Oh, no, swear.
Well, no. The Liverpool City region do you know with these 2,000 tickets?
Yeah.
The Liverpool City region includes Widnes and St Helens, and we're never going to hear the end of that now because they're all going to think the Scousers.
They haven't got an L postcode.
They've got WA8, WA7s and that. So, but yeah, they count as the Liverpool City region. So, like, obviously, if you're there's fans in St Helens, and my uncle lives in Widnes and he's had a season ticket for 35 years, so they're rightfully so that they should get tickets for games. But
you're not a Scouser.
Yeah, and now they've been classed as the Liverpool City region. St Helens are the worst for it. They used to always think they were Scousers, people in St Helens, and you're just like, you're not a Scouser. One good thing though, if you are a Scouser and you're still listening, the OG Neon 110s come out in a few days, and everyone wants them.
Yeah, just in time for Christmas. There's going to be about 5,000 black pairs of the H-Gate job flying around, isn't there?
I'm taking a day off work. I'm going to have it. They want so many setups, different websites. I need them, Steve. They're the best 110s ever made. Best 110.
Mate, I'm 40 years old. I haven't got time for 110s, you know what I mean?
My dad has 110s.
I've got my flip-flops on now. I'm done.
No, my dad has 110s. He has the ones that I got a few pairs a few years ago, and I just stopped wearing them, give them to him, and he wears them when he's out in the taxi and that, so...
Yeah, I'm the same size. I swear if your dad. Come on.
110s. Yeah, my
110s.
My dad's got a Belter shoe collection. Belter gets all my hands. But yeah, before we go, we'll be back on Monday discussing the whatever happens on Sunday and the Midtjylland build-up. This is with the score, Steve.
4-0. 4-0. I reckon we're going to do him. I've woke up in a boss mood today, like, honestly. Today
That's usually my predictions.
I know, yeah. I've woke up in a boss mood and I'm dead confident and just watch it be 0-0. But I'm saying 4-0, I reckon.
I just don't feel... I feel like Wolves are such a strong team.
Yeah, going for... I don't know. I can see... I'll tell you what, here's another one. We'll play that front four. We'll play Jota, Mane, Firmino, Salah, right? And they'll all bag a goal. It'll be 4-0.
Love it for Bobby. I'd love Bobby to get one, to be fair. I'm going to go with 2-1, though.
I'm putting a bet on that, you know.
4-0.
4-0 and all four to score. I'll get these.
I'm only going 2-1 because I just know Wolves are... When you think about it, Kelleher did play in the Champions League. Phenomenal performance. He's now going to be playing against arguably 11 Portuguese international players.
Do you know what fills me with confidence more than anything about saying 4-0 is Fabinho. Like,
yeah,
he's just a unit. And
He
like, they just don't score past him.
If Thiago was younger, I feel as though Fabinho would probably get moved to centre-back.
Yeah.
Because then he could play centre-back with Van Dijk and Thiago would be holding. Yeah. But with Thiago being 29 and he's so good going forward, I feel like that's the only thing that might stop that. But I only think it'll be 2-1 because you're forgetting that Wolves, we're going to foul them, and Wolves have got Martinho and Neves banging free kicks at Kelleher. As good as he was against Ajax,
who's scoring for
Ruben Neves can bang a free kick.
I don't think Neves will play.
Who's scoring for us? Jota's going to get 2.
Okay.
He's got a point to prove. He's going to be... And you know who's going to score for them? Daniel Podence.
Okay.
But I feel like just because of when he left, all the Wolves fans were taking the mix saying that they had our pants down and that. I feel like he's just going to go and be like...
I'll show you.
Yeah.
I think he's got that in him anyway against any team, but certainly he's got a point to
I only reckon it'll be 2-1 as well because I just don't think we'll start Mane. If he's played... After seeing he played 92... I feel like it might be, if we did go 4-3-3, Jota would probably start on the left, and it'll probably be Jota, Firmino, Salah. But then Salah played, he come off on... Did he come off on the game?
Salah got subbed, yeah.
Yeah, it was like the 70th minute, something like that. So yeah, I feel like Salah, Mane might not play. Don't forget he's only just come back, hasn't he? If I'm not mistaken, he was out for a game, wasn't he?
No, I think that was... He went on international. There was talk of him getting COVID, but...
It was Salah who got COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I might be wrong. Mane plays every game, doesn't he? But so does Salah. It'll be interesting to see. But I think Klopp might go more full strength knowing that he can rest midweek now. Because he's not gonna play anyone of importance. But we'll talk about that on Monday. Yeah. Nice one as always, Steve. Right, hopefully you're right with 4-0. I'd enjoy that a lot more than a little 2-1, but up the Reds.
Yeah.